You call yourself a leader, Donald. But what I see is a merchant of illusions. A man who builds thrones out of television lights and applause. A man who mistakes noise for power and spectacle for victory. In Anchorage, Alaska, you welcomed Vladimir Putin with pomp and ceremony. The red carpet stretched, the limousines gleamed, the flags waved in the northern wind. To the cameras, it looked like history. To the world, it looked like theater. For what did you achieve? No ceasefire in Ukraine, no concessions from Moscow, no guarantees of peace. The Russians declared progress. The West muttered weakness, and you returned home with empty hands, wrapped only in the applause of your own voice. I wrote that rulers must be judged not by their words, but by their outcomes. And what was the outcome, Donald? A smiling Putin, praised on his own state television for hoodwinking you in the back of a limousine. An American president who granted his adversary a platform but demanded nothing in return. A summit that strengthened one throne while exposing cracks in another. I have seen this before. In Florence, dukes who confused banquets with strategy were the first to be dragged from their palaces when famine struck. Theatrics win a night, results win an era, and your Alaska was no era, Donald. It was only a night of noise. You lean on rallies, on chants, on crowds who chant your name like a chorus. You measure strength by the volume of your followers. But power is not in chance. True power is silent. It builds networks, extracts promises, forces obedience without a word. The louder the man, the weaker the hand. And where were your allies in Alaska? Excluded, ignored, shut out of the room while you courted the man who burns their cities and bombs their bridges. You thought solitude looked strong. But solitude without leverage looks only foolish. A prince without allies is not feared. He is alone. And isolation, Donald, is not sovereignty. It is abandonment disguised as pride. In your second reign, the foundations of state corrode. Inspectors dismissed. Watchdogs silenced. Courts bent like reeds. The media branded as enemies. The law used as a weapon against rivals. You believe this makes you Caesar, but Caesar became Caesar because Romans believed he was Rome itself. You, Donald, are not Rome. You are a mirror, reflecting only yourself, and when that reflection fades, nothing will remain. Look at the numbers. Your approval rating sinks to the lowest for an American president at 100 days in 80 years. The world's confidence in you is brittle, weaker than even in your first reign. The Pew surveys show it. Allies do not trust you. Partners do not respect you. Adversaries do not fear you. And a prince without trust, respect, or fear is not a ruler. He is a performer. I watched rulers fall because they confused loyalty with love. Love is fragile, Donald. It disappears the moment the bread runs out, the moment the spectacle ends. Fear is stronger, but only when measured. You do not command fear. You command noise. You insult your own followers, yet expect devotion. You rage at your enemies, yet win no concessions. Your strength is in headlines, not in history. And history is merciless to men of noise. The ones who screamed loudest were the first forgotten. The ones who mistook attention for authority became lessons, not legends. Do not compare yourself to Caesar. Caesar marched with legions. You march with slogans. Caesar forged empire with steel. You forge hashtags, and hashtags do not hold thrones. In Anchorage, you gave Putin the stage he craved. He appeared as a statesman, while you appeared as an actor. He returned to Moscow hailed as the man who faced America and left unscathed. You returned to Washington with critics calling you a gift to your enemy. This is not power, Donald. This is servitude, disguised as diplomacy. A ruler is measured by results, not ceremonies. You gave nothing, gained nothing, proved nothing. You weakened your alliances, confused your people. and emboldened your enemies. This is not cunning. This is clumsiness. History will not place your name beside Caesar or Augustus. It will place it beside men who believed parades were power, who mistook applause for strategy. Men who fell because they governed noise instead of nations. You wanted to be a lion. But lions do not roar for applause. They hunt in silence, and silence has never been your ally.